Hello.
Hi guys. This is Across Oceans with Douglas and Szilard,
Yes.
and episode 7.
Yes.
The last time we talked about immigration, but we didn't finish the topic because there were lots of other aspects that we wanted to cover, but we didn't get to it. So that's what we would love to do now in this conversation. And the aspects are, for example...
Wait, but why don't you show them a little bit
Okay.
where we are so they can get a taste, just a taste. We are in Heidelberg, Germany, and we have had the most beautiful day. I just wanted to show the architecture and all of the beauty around.
It's really nice. This is the first time I've been to Heidelberg.
Mine too.
Even though, I've been living here for like 14 years. In Berlin, there is a square called Heidelbergplatz. And then in the underground, there are photos of Heidelberg.
Yes.
The city of Heidelberg. And those are beautiful photos. And I always thought, I gotta go to Heidelberg one day because it's just really nice, and it is.
It is beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's 40 degrees. It's really hot, extremely hot, but we survived so far.
We survived. It's a beautiful day. It is the UNESCO City of Literature. We went upstairs. Not upstairs. We climbed several steps to get to the castle, and I'm so glad that we did because it was so beautiful. We discovered lots of artistic places, and I'm personally having an awakening, I feel, through travel. My nervous system is able to relax. Being in just different places and seeing all different forms of humanity. But the topic of today's conversation is the continuation of immigration and the technical ramifications.
Legal ramifications. Like first of all, is gay immigration different from straight immigration? What are the legal aspects of it? So you just recently went through the application process for residency based on our marriage. So maybe you could tell us about how was it for you, all that bureaucracy? And how was the interview at the immigration center?
Well, I'm so grateful for you because you helped me to organize it and you helped me get everything situated and straight.
For selfish reasons.
Yes. But it's also been a blessing to me to be here in Germany. Everything was pretty much approved. I was able to get my 1-year residence permit. And I have to renew it. I'm in an integration course that I have to take almost every day, which can be strenuous, but I'm learning a lot. They celebrated my birthday. But the process at large of the office of the immigration office, I just had to be present and to present the documents there and the money, which was a slightly tedious process because I had to pass that language test, the A1 language test I had to, which was a bit stressful because I didn't even realize that you have to take the test all at once.
I didn't know that either.
And then it
surprised me too. Yeah.
They sent an email. It was confusing a bit at the office, but they graciously allowed me to take the test again, the second part of the test, the next day at the Goethe Institute, which is synchronous because we just saw Goethe statue today. Anyway, but so I had to get my A1. I had to have all my documents in order, my passport. We had to go to a place in Berlin to get a German version of our
marriage license.
Marriage license.
Because we got married in the United States, so we had like an English language paper documentation of that, and we had to have it translated officially to submit that as as a proof that we are married.
Yeah. So it was a process. I mean, but at the time I was not working, could not work. I was at home pretty much most of the time, which I do miss now because I've been working a lot now. But it was interesting. It was very cold at the time. We were searching for an integration course, but they had to approve the integration course. But once we got all of the documents together, once I presented all the documents to them, I was able to, I was able to be approved. I just presented my documents to the office. We went to the office. We had to pay a fee. I think it was $100.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Euros.
100 euros, sorry.
Yeah.
And that was it. And the rest is history.
I found it also relatively simple. We had to wait for that interview date.
Yeah.
For almost 3 months, but it was good because we had time to collect all the paperwork to have everything translated officially. But the interview itself was very friendly.
It was very friendly.
There was a Chinese guy there. I mean, obviously he was German, but originally
he could have been of Chinese origin.
Yeah, he could have been of Chinese origin. And the language was German, but he also asked some questions in English.
Yes.
And he was very friendly. He was not trying to be suspicious that our relationship is a fake and we just got married so that he can get a visa. So we didn't have to. We were not being treated as criminals or potential cheaters. So it was a very friendly, straightforward interview. The only issue was that your language skills were not,
as developed
as they wanted to be able to give a residency permit, and so that's why he has to take the integration course, and at the end, hopefully, he's gonna be able to take the B1 test.
Yes.
So I think it was relatively simple, but maybe we can go back in time a little bit and ask the question, like, is gay immigration at all different from straight immigration? Like, what do you think?
I think that gay immigration could be more difficult per se than there could be. Now, granted, we live in 2026, so there have been many, many different political advancements and equalities granted to gay people across the European Union, specifically in Germany, because at one point Germany was renowned for the killing of hundreds of thousands of gays.
Well, that was more like during the Second World War.
Yeah.
Not only Jewish people were killed in the Holocaust, but also gay people with the pink triangle. They were also sent to concentration camps. But before that, actually, before this Nazi regime, Germany was relatively gay friendly.
Yes.
But it all changed in the Second World War. Yeah, but now the war is over, and now I think gays have equal rights in Germany, and gay marriages allowed. But we shouldn't forget that it was not until recently. because I don't exactly remember when gay marriage was introduced in Germany legally, but there are still many countries in the world where it is not a legal option,
Right.
and it could make gay immigration very difficult, because based on the relationship, based on marriage, you cannot enter and settle in the country. So you either need to get a work visa or a student visa or some other kind of visa. And so there are, roundabout ways, and this direct way and most honest way is just not an option. And I also had another relationship with an American guy when a gay marriage was not an option. And I was living in the United States with a tourist visa, but with that I was not supposed to work. I kept renewing this tourist visa, but my partner had to sign a piece of paper that he was taking care of me financially.
Right.
So I didn't have to work. So those are tricky situations, because what if the partner is not in a position to support 100% the other person? Then it would not even be possible.
Right.
So I think gay immigration used to be a lot more difficult than it is now, and in many countries it is still very difficult, I would say.
Yes. But I will say I received something on Instagram from someone who, after I posted some pictures of us, of our marriage, she said that there are people from Africa who are looking to migrate to Germany.
Yeah.
Because of, lots of African oppression towards gay people in Africa.
Yeah, in I think in several African countries it is still a crime, and you can get in trouble.
Which is depressing to me, because as an African American person, I have always dreamed of going back to my homeland and exploring and experiencing my roots and seeing the lineage and things of that nature. But there are risks, there are hazards that can occur simply for being queer.
Yeah, so to put it simply, they can throw you into jail just because you
So we have to be mindful and monitor ourselves even in 2026.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
We hope that at some point it will change everywhere in the world.
Right.
Even though sometimes it seems like you make 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Right.
Or the other way around. But we hope that it will become reality and normal everywhere in the world. Another issue that I wanted to talk with you is like all this bureaucracy.
Yes.
Can it kill romance? Like, did you feel at any point that our relationship was, suffering because of all these legal requirements and bureaucracy? Like, our conversations were sometimes all about legal issues, what, documents we need to get, and until when, and, all that. Did you ever feel like this is...
No, not necessarily.
Feeling the feelings or the
us,
romance? Or?
I think it made us closer towards each other. I mean, we had moments of stress, obviously, because, I needed to have that pressure, but I feel like the pressure paid off.
Okay.
I think it is good to have... I mean, this might not have to do with the bureaucratic process of migrating to another country, but I do feel that you helped me a lot with my just you helped me a lot with so much with staying organized, making sure things were on time, make sure we had the right proper documentation. One thing Germany, I'm learning about Germany, is that there is a huge love of documentation.
Yeah.
These people love documents.
Yeah.
So that was a hurdle, but you helped me.
And my experience in the United States is that there is bureaucracy in the United States as well, but there is a little bit they're a little bit more relaxed about things generally, and even with bureaucracy. But here in Germany, if you don't have a piece of document that you are supposed to have, then then it's over.
Yeah.
Until you get that damn document,
Right.
you can't take care of anything. So they're not relaxed. You need to have that piece of paper, whatever is required by the law. And it's also a federal system, so there are independent states, so the regulations in Berlin might be slightly different than in Brandenburg, in Potsdam. We live in Potsdam, that's another state actually, even though it's very close to Berlin, but it's still another state. And so the regulations are slightly different. That's why I was surprised by this A1 exam that you had to take. I didn't know that
It was mandatory.
It was mandatory right at the beginning
to take that and pass that
to
test.
prove that you at least have an A1 language exam. So we really needed to hurry, and Douglas needed to learn German extra fast so that he can pass the A1 test, and he did. And I'm proud of you, honey.
Thank you.
And but I know that I was teaching him at the table at home.
Oh, that was a process. Yes,
that was a process.
Yes.
Sometimes we were both frustrated because
Yes.
I just wanted you to learn faster and to understand certain concepts faster.
Yes.
Just
That was a
because
process.
I was worried that you
That I would fail.
you will
So,
fail at
that
the
I will
exam,
say-
and then we'll have problems, legal problems. But
Yeah.
but you didn't fail. You did wonderfully, and yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, I also felt bad because I actually meant to give you a relaxed time at the beginning, like no
you did.
pressure, no, just take your time, acclimatize, try to adapt, just try to feel home at first, not immediately, learn the language or learn the rules or whatever,
Yeah.
but just try to feel home and comfortable first.
Right.
But this A1 exam, well, kind of
It was stressful, but I had to get that workbook. And I will say that throughout the process, I mean, I know we talk a lot about how immigration can change you as a person, and I feel like the language can help you discover new parts of yourself, I think.
Yeah.
And you told me that throughout your process of learning German and Russian and
English.
all these languages. You said that you felt a new part of yourself awakening. You could be somebody else, and I think that was very therapeutic. You're throughout language learning can help with it can just help with an overall well-being. I think simply because of what is it? It's neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity.
That's a word, yeah.
Neuroplasticity, yes. Because it helps you keep your brain young, and you're forced to put your mind to work to figure out what these words are.
My neuroplasticity is the mechanism with which you can learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
Your
the
brain.
biological chemical process of recording information and storing information in your brain, and you can do that until you die, until the last moment. It may feel like it's harder, it gets harder to learn when you get older, but you can learn until your very last day.
Yeah.
It is proven, and you can. You might feel it a little bit more difficult, but
I think it was very therapeutic for me because I think as a result in my lifetime, I'm not saying in my lifetime as if I'm like 75, but in my life I feel like I have clung to routines, and it was hard for me to adapt to change. It was hard for me to, I'm been a creature of habit. I don't want to change things. I like to do the same things over and over again. Very shy in a sense with as far as connecting with people, and I think that this whole immigration process has helped me tremendously look at myself in the mirror to see ways that I can adapt and change.
I also have to say that it must be more difficult for you, because I remember when I went to the United States, the surprising experience was that I could start up a conversation with a complete stranger on the street, on the train, everywhere. So in Europe it is more difficult. People are not as open, and they keep more distance, and you can't just talk about certain topics unless you already built up a certain,
Repertoire.
rapport with someone. So that I think is a lot easier in the United States. So it must have been hard for
Especially
you to.
in the South.
Yeah.
But I will say New York surprised me too, because I think New York gets a bad rep of being like this very cold place. But I found a lot of, especially in Manhattan where I worked, there was lots of helpful people.
Okay.
So it's not just the South.
Well, in Germany it's different. I mean, you can just yes, of course you can start a conversation on the train, but it's not as natural, not as normal to just start a conversation with somebody who is sitting next to you. It is not as normal.
Yeah.
And some people may even turn it down. I remember you told me once that you made a comment to a woman. You said that her dress was very nice.
Oh yes,
and
that
she
was
said,
hilarious.
No.
Oh my God, that was so funny. Wait, I gotta tell the story. No, because that was hilarious. She wasn't that aggressive,
Okay.
but she was like, no, don't talk to me, because I think she was a bit more older than I was. I think she might be in her 80s
so she may
or
have
90s.
misunderstood the situation completely.
Yes, but I love what she was wearing. She looked fabulous. She was wearing and I think that style comes with age, because you know yourself, and you could tell she knew who she was. She put herself together in a very sophisticated way. I loved her colors. She had orange colors, a necklace, like a low rise skirt, and her heels were fab. I admire her look so much. And so I told her, she was on a train. I said, Entschuldigung, ich liebe deine Kleidung. And she said,
Excuse me, I love your dress.
no. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, auf English.
Yeah.
Das ist, excuse me, I love your dress. Aber in Deutsch, es ist, Entschuldigung. Okay.
So we are back again. The battery was dying, so we had to put it on a charger. So the last question that we wanted to cover today is the power imbalance. Like having to go through this bureaucracy, and that basically that one partner is sponsoring the other. Honey, you're going out of the frame.
Okay, sorry.
That one partner is sponsoring the other can create a power imbalance. And so like how was that for you? Like,
well, I think we talked about it before, how people were like, I think when we got married, before we got married, I received a lot of feedback and a lot of like what I would say could be fear mongering if it's interpreted of, you know, you don't want to be dependent on anybody else, and that if I am dependent on you, then that will cause an imbalance of power within our relationship. And I received that from multiple individuals, and I think I did internalize a lot of that because I was scared to, you know, was scared that I didn't want to, you know, lose my own independence. But something that I'm realizing, I don't know, I feel like the more you allow yourself to be loved by somebody else, the more abundant your life can be. And I think for a long time I had an issue with allowing myself to be loved and allowing myself to be. And I think that this has been the ultimate test of that. Can you allow yourself? And look at where we are now. We are in Heidelberg.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this never would have even happened if I did not first allow myself to be loved. And yeah, I think that there was a technical aspect of the fact that I could not legally work when I first came to Germany, and some people could say, you know, you dependent on your man, you know, and there could be negative connotations towards my dependency towards you because you're older than me. But I think also I've learned there's somebody in my class at the Oberschule, and she's my age. I think she's around my age, or her and her husband are closer in age than we are.
Mm-hmm.
And she has had to depend on her husband because she could not work legally as an immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, I think also that helped me to realize that I'm not alone in this immigration process of having to rely on somebody else. And I don't think there's anything bad about having to rely on anybody else. I think the more you do.
But you know, I know that it could be a problem, and you know, it could be difficult, you know, that you don't have money on your own, and if you need something, that you need to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And you might find it uncomfortable, and then you don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I can totally understand that it could create a feeling of dependence, and the feeling of like you're not your own, you're not free. So it could be difficult, and it could feel humiliating, and it could lead to conflicts, or
It could, but it didn't. I mean, and I will say let me not lie. We did have moments where you were like, I need you to be a little bit more independent as far as taking initiative for things. Because I think I have had a lot that was given to me, if I'm being very honest. And so I think I did have a sense of dependency on other people. I mean, if I'm being honest, and that's all that I can be is honest, I did have issues kind of initiating things in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had so much that was given to me, and I'm grateful for all of that. But I think there were moments within my 20s up until now where I had issues kind of taking care of myself and managing my own things, but that was because of, I feel like I haven't had that much. We're all learning and growing, but I hadn't had that much autonomy in a way, you know. That's
Okay.
just my own reflections.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't feel this power imbalance, or that you didn't feel it like it was overwhelming or unacceptable. But I know that it could be. I mean, if I'm just trying to imagine that I don't have money and I need something, like how should I put it? How should I ask for money, or ask my partner to buy something for me? Like these things, like having to ask for things that I need. It's kind of like, if you're a little bit shy or a little bit, it could cause problems. And I was trying to, I guess, I was trying to, get everything that I thought you might need, and I always try to ask if you needed anything, and I was also trying to give you some pocket money, so to speak, that you have on your own, so that you don't need to tell me what you need it for, and what it's just like your decision, because I think that kind of a freedom and independence we need as human beings, all of us.
We do.
And just one more thing that also relates to gay immigration is that marriage, because you can hear every now and then in the gay community that people say that, why should we get married? Why should we imitate the heterosexual couples? Like, why should we take over these stereotypes, these heteronorm stereotypes? And it's totally, it's a justified question, and obviously nobody has to imitate anybody. But I do think that from a legal perspective, gay marriage does help. Because then it creates a gateway for immigration, for example, so that you have equal rights in a different country. You are allowed to work legally. You have health insurance. If I get sick, for example, and I go into the hospital and you come in, the doctor will have to inform you about my health status, because you're my husband. If you were not my husband, they wouldn't tell you anything, because legally you would be just a stranger, and they are not allowed to tell you specifics about my health status. So there are lots of everyday practical situations where marriage helps legally. Tax reports, a lot of other things. So I think it's you should not downplay the importance of legal marriage. You don't have to get married if you don't want to, of course not. But you can, and that is important, because certain things become a lot easier that way.
I think from a health perspective and a logistical perspective, but also as far as a self-awareness and a self-confidence, and having somebody that's in your corner that really is there for you. And I feel like you are that, and you have been that for me. And I think that there has been tremendous personal change within my life, because I had lots of shame, lots of guilt, lots of second guessing of myself. Could be because I was still in my, because I was, still quite younger than you are, in a different phase of my life. But I think that doesn't necessarily have to be marriage, but having somebody in your life who you can bounce ideas off of, and that person can accept you with all of your bullshit and like and tell you like and be honest with you. Sometimes you need that. You need to be honest. Even with friends, you need people to be honest with you. And people who are lying to you, they're not for you.
Well, thank you for accepting me, honey. I have also my bullshit, so issues. So it's not just, it's a mutual
Like
thing.
we
all
all
have
do.
to, accept each other as we are. And that's the best. Is there anything that you want to cover in this episode?
No, not necessarily.
Anything
I
else?
feel like we did, and I just want to say that there's so much beauty that can happen as a result of letting yourself be loved, and that's been one of the biggest gifts of my life. Really, there's so much beauty in that. Like, I think that's something that I have in my work, in my friendships in New York, and since I'm in my work, it was difficult for me to accept my camaraderie with other people. It was difficult because I was trying to do everything by myself, but you cannot do anything by yourself. And I think my life is a testimony to what can happen. Like, I literally, an entire continent, the entire European Union has opened itself up to me simply as a result of letting myself be loved by somebody. So that's all I gotta say.
Okay. Thank you for listening, and you can comment, you can like us, you can subscribe, and see you next time.
Yeah.